This is Your Other Brothers podcast.
Greg, can I get you out of here on one last question?
By all means.
Okay. Because I figure predominantly, I feel like most of our audience is single. I know we have plenty of married people listening too, but I know there's a lot of single guys like us who are just feel the call, feel the conviction to celibacy and to walk out this road as singles, as celibates till death do us part, or till God intervenes or something. And so again, this intersects with my story a little bit too. Like where's the line, I guess, because a lot of guys in our community and people listening and people in the greater Side B world, there's a lot of woundedness with the church of feeling like I don't belong. I'm different. I'm a minority. Like I need people to understand me in order to belong. And I've lived in that mindset for a while. And it's not to say that the church can't stand to educate themselves a little bit and to listen to our stories, because I think they certainly can. But I've been navigating this line in my own life of like, okay, yes, I feel different. I am different. I am a minority in a sense, but I also have, and my pastor's been super affirming to say this to me, to my face, that I have something to offer the church. I have something to bring. And maybe in my own personal life, I need to, it sounds harsh maybe to someone listening, because I want to be careful with how I word this, but to some extent, I need to get over it. I need to get over my sense of the church doesn't understand and that I'm different. And I just need to start getting involved, start connecting and start serving, because I have as much reason to be there as anyone else. And I guess for you in your own life, or advice that you would give to people who have church wounds, I guess, where do you find that line? Where do you find that difference between like, I need someone to understand me to belong versus I can just exist in my messiness and my differentness, and I can start serving and contributing. And that's how I belong too. It's one or the other. Is it both? Like how have you navigated that in your own life?
It has been really helpful for me to reflect on my own story in the context of the story of Jesus, which is not to say that, Jesus and I have walked perfectly similar lives, though I am in my 30s now. So, rocking that Jesus age. But it's been really helpful for me to reflect on the way Jesus' most sort of prominent ministry occurs in the years that his most prominent accusers show up, and there's a kind of simultaneity between the remarkable gifts that Jesus is offering the world, even before he offers us, the ultimate gift. He spends these 3 years offering these remarkable gifts to the world around him. Well, at the very same time, people are being like, who is this joker? He's not even a real follower of God, and Jesus does not wait for the religious community to tell him that he's a-okay to start serving the world before he starts serving the world. Jesus responds to his critics, but then he goes on and does his thing. And it is in doing his thing. I mean, when he talks about his sense of fit within the world, one of the things that he says is like, my food is to do the will of the one who sent me, right? Like I don't need to like go back home and sit down. Like he's like, I'm on a mission. I've got things to do. Like I have a sense of purpose. And he's not waiting to be permitted to have that purpose. I think there has been a time in my life, especially in the moments when I have felt most inundated with criticism, most like I was not welcome in certain Christian spaces, most wounded by some of the people around me. There has been a temptation to feel like I needed to fixate on those things in such a way that I got distracted from actually being the kind of person that God had designed me to be in the world, and to actually give the kind of gifts that I had to offer other people. And I think a really important shift in my mindset has been to say that actually the best way in which I can possibly respond to the sense that there are people who don't want me around, to the sense that there are people who misunderstand me, to the sense that there are people who criticize me, whether fairly or unfairly, truly the best thing I can do in response to that is to keep living like the person that Jesus has designed me to live like. that there's actually no better response to the accusation that you don't love Jesus than to just go on living as someone who loves Jesus anyway. And I think when we move in that direction, then we're no longer waiting for somebody else to give us permission to belong. But we actually find our belonging as we live on purpose with Jesus, who is actually the only one who's qualified to tell us whether or not we belong. And everything else, even when it hurts, becomes a little bit less important by comparison.